Welcome folks to TUDublin. This is Dermot. I'm going to take you through the chef's uniform, how to wear it, and we're going to take you through the purpose of the actual uniform as well. So to begin with, when you arrive into the college, a really good thing, and this may not look like it's part of the uniform, but it's going to be part of it in general every day. Listen, we love odors. We love the smell of food odors, but not necessarily of student odors. Okay, so we do that. Lecturers as well. Everybody bring in their deodorant. Have a good spray of that before you put on your uniform. So, a couple of things just before you actually wear the uniform: jewellery, watches, all those kind of things. They harbour bacteria, and it's very important that we remove all jewellery. So that'll be rings, watches, earrings, bangles, all those type of things, okay? So very important, get them off you, onto a table, into a bag, and into your locker, nice and safe, okay? So then we look at the uniform itself and how we begin. So the best thing to begin with is to start from head to toe, that way you remember most of it. To start with, we need to cover your hair, because hair also harbours bacteria, staphylococcus. Okay, we've got the likes of dandruff, we've got hairs that fall out into food. So we've got these hair nets, which you'll be provided with, and you can buy in the shop. These hair nets, now, let's have a look what they're like on. They look pretty crazy, okay? But it's not about looks, guys, okay? It's about safety and protection. What we do then, these hats, by the way, are for hair, only for hair that protrude or splay out, okay, or big hair, should we say. And we also have nets for beards, okay, breathable nets for beards, and all different types of hair, okay, coverings and cultural aspects as well, all types of covering. We will have them all in the shop ready for you. Basically, the pack comes with a skull cap. If the skull cap's not what you require, you can swap it out for the type of hair covering that you require. Okay? Shaving is also very important. We don't want people scratching. Okay? Scratching harbours staphylococcus as well, gets under your fingernails, and then that's transported or cross-contaminated into the food. Okay? So keep away from that. Next of all is the actual hat itself. If you wear a hairnet, the hat will go over the hair. I, for example, wouldn't particularly need a hairnet, so I'm just going to place it over my hair like this. It's nice and tidy. Reach around, have a look for any hair that's sticking out there, and keep it in. So that's the top one. Starting at the top, working our way down. The next piece of uniform here, guys, is the jacket. Now, this jacket, it's not any old jacket. This is a double-breasted jacket. You'll see if I open the button here, it's quite heavy material. Protective material. It's designed specifically for spillages to protect the chest from burning and scalding. Okay, so you've got two big double layers in there. You'll also notice that it's quite baggy. All right. The bagginess is so that if a scald or hot water or hot liquid does hit it, you can actually move forward and it will come off your chest. Okay. Same with the length of the arms. We have chef's jacket have long sleeves, okay, with cuffs. We chuck up the cuffs there so they don't get stained, but the long sleeves are to protect the inside of our arms here if we're taking hot objects out of an oven, for example. So we just keep them covered like so. Okay, that's the purpose of the long sleeves and the jackets. I'm going to go down, and next is the pants. Now, the pants are baggy. So if we focus in on this, baggy pants are very important. You'll notice that they come with a string rather than loops for a belt. This is extremely important. Again, if it's a spillage, hot water, scalding water, you need to be able to whip them off as soon as possible. No belts, no buckles, what have you down there, bending over, okay? And it also gives you lots of room so you can bend down, looking into ovens, looking under counters and what have you. And then if we focus down a little bit further, what doesn't seem to be very important are socks, okay? So we're going to pause. It's important to wear long socks. Now, guys, it's trendy to wear ankle socks, but unfortunately, the use of ankle socks is prohibited because you picture yourself, it could be yourself, it could be somebody else, accidentally pouring boiling liquid onto your legs by accident, it will roll straight down and into your ankles. Okay, so very important you have high socks, and then towards the end, at the very end, we have our shoes. Not just ordinary shoes, guys. These are safety shoes. They've got lots of different aspects of them. They're oil-proof, acid-proof. They're non-slip, okay, so that we don't slip on the floors. And they've got steel toe caps in case of heavy objects falling down on the ground and perhaps hitting our toes. It'll protect our toes as well. Okay. Next, we're going to go to a part of the uniform that sometimes you'll see it in industry, sometimes you won't. We will always use this in the college because we want to prepare you for every eventuality, the necktie. The necktie itself, here's the necktie. We use, and traditionally it was always used, to keep sweat from rolling down the back of the front. Now, nowadays, and TUDublin is fantastic because we have these amazing air conditioning units, should I say. And the actual necktie itself is always worn in international hotels. So we're going to prepare you for that. It's part of our uniform. Everybody wears it. The lecturers wear it. The students wear that. So we're just going to have that as an eventuality. So you'll always be prepared and look extra professional. Now, in order to actually fold the necktie, you will need an iron, and you'll need an iron for your entire uniform at home. Okay, and it's good to iron out all the creases. That makes it look even more professional. This goes for all the uniform, not just the necktie. But the necktie, some people have a little bit of difficulty folding, so I'm going to show you the actual approach. This is a triangle, and I have faced the triangle, the top of the triangle away from me. I'm going to pull the point of the triangle down to the horizontal. And I'm going to take an iron and I'm going to set it there. I'm going to set the crease so it won't move. And the more we use the iron, the longer it will stay perfectly in shape. I'm going to fold it. How thick do you fold it? I don't like it going any thicker than the actual collar of your jacket. So 1, 2, 3 folds. I get my iron. And we just set that crease. And then we do another 3 folds, and that should complete 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to lift it up there. I'm going to put this around my neck, around the collar, and you'll notice one side is short, one side is longer. Okay, make it the longer over the short, and all the way around underneath, just like a traditional tie. And then tuck it down through the front. And what you'll find is you have 2 nice straggly bits there, which we just tie neatly in a knot, shorten it up, and present it in a more professional manner. Tuck it around your neck so it's nice and comfortable, and that's the uniform. Well, that's the uniform this far. One object that's missing now is the apron. Let's talk about the apron. Apron isn't just to cover your uniform. The apron itself, and you'll notice it's white, and we'll talk about that shortly. Practically the entire uniform is white, and that's to pick up all kinds of dirt, all kinds of stains, because one thing we do want to train you is how to be efficient and clean, work as you go, so that you'll never have a stain on your uniform and never have a stain on your apron. So let's see how we use this. The apron is used, first of all, you're going to give it one fold, one single fold, turn it round, cross the apron strings, pull it nice and tight, right to the front, and make a bow. Once the bow is tied, I want you to remember this piece. Those straggly bits there are usually at the level of a flame on the stove. So we want to tuck them underneath the fold. That was the reason for the fold in the first place. So that there's no exposed pieces there that can catch fire. And then we're going to get the two outsides and just pull them out so that it's nice and roomy in there. Okay? Now the purpose of the apron. Again, it's always about spillages, possible splashes. It's not necessarily yourself. I could be holding a pot, I could be carrying a pot, and it could slosh. Okay, it could come over my chest, it could come over my apron. If it comes towards my apron, we want it to guide down over the knees and out onto the floor. So it's very important, if you look at the level of the apron, that the apron is always worn down below the knees. You might even see a tendency in industry for this kind of lark, where people wear the apron like a little mini skirt because they get 4 folds in it and they think it's all about cleaning. Never wear the apron above the knee, always below the knees, guys. And that there is the uniform in full. However, there are 2 other aspects that we need to cover. Every uniform will come with 2 tea towels. And the tea towels, the purpose of the tea towels, guys, are to use as a second skin. Now, what if this pot here is extremely hot? We see the handles are made of metal. If I touch them, I could burn. So what we do is we take the tea towel, and although it's beautifully folded, it's of no value to us whatsoever, folded and tucked. So what we do is we open it up, we grab a corner, and here's how we actually attach the cloth to the apron. We put it underneath the string, pull it slightly, pull it to the side. Now we have a cloth that's open. And I can use that, as we call it, as a second skin. Okay, I do the same with the other one. Flick it out, tuck it underneath the tie, and leave it to the side. And the purpose again, if I want to lift a very hot object, I'm using the cloth and not my hand. Okay, that's extremely important. And the rule, of course, in all kitchens is that you do not use these tea towels to wash, to clean, or to wipe down. These are specifically one purpose, is to save your hand. Okay, so keep them hot, keep them clean. When we're cleaning, we can use all sorts of other objects. We can use J cloths, we can use yellow cloths in the kitchens here, and we can use kitchen towel. So that leads us on to another type of apron here. Some of your classes, guys, you'll be doing butchery perhaps, or using fish, and without even trying, it's going to stain everything, probably your beautiful white uniform. So we do provide an apron here which will cover your entire uniform. Okay, so that's the purpose of that again, specifically to keep your white uniform clean. That will be available. That concludes the actual uniform, the material uniform. However, when you come to class, guys, there's a couple of other objects there. We always need to bring with us a notebook and pen. You're going to be taking notes every single day. You're going to need your ID card, guys. In order to gain access to the kitchens, to the doors around the building, you're going to need your ID card, so don't forget that. You're going to need hydration. Guys, it's very important. You're probably going to be in the kitchen practicals for about 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours. Important to be well hydrated. And if it's a morning time, guys, I'm going to have to say this. Food is extremely important in order for your sugar levels to stay up and for you to basically have enough energy to get through all the classes. Okay, so a really good example is slow burning carbs like porridge. Nobody's going to tell you what you have to eat, but what we're going to say is make sure if it's in the morning you have a good breakfast, a good stable breakfast, and again make sure you bring your water. So in summary, the whole uniform is there for the purpose of being professional. Okay? The outcome of this course is that you'll become a professional chef, or that you will endeavour to work in a professional kitchen. So we're going to prepare you to be the most professional you can be. So we're going to take the entire uniform and a quick summary of it again. Your checklist should be of 13 different objects, 13 different items on your checklist before you come into college. Let's start at the top. Before you come in, bring your deodorant, leave it in your locker. Get rid of all your jewelry. Hair nets, guys, and we have different types, again, for different hairs. Make sure you have that before you come into the kitchen. Followed by the hat. If you have a beard, that you have a beard cover. The necktie, guys. The double-breasted jacket. The long apron down below the knees. The baggy pants. The long socks. The safety shoes. The 2 tea towels as your second skin to protect you. And guys, don't forget, notes and pen and your ID card. And before you come in, make sure you're well rehydrated and make sure you have plenty of food in you to sustain the 4 and 5 hour active classes. Guys, my name is Dermot. That's the uniform, how to wear it and what it's used for.